Welcome back, everybody. So I wanted to do some testing today. I brought out the old Trash Panda, USS Trash Panda, and I generate these boxes. And I wanted to take a look at the different tractor beams. So we're going to start with the small one, then we'll move on to the MegaLift. Then I've got the ATLS over here, and then I've got the MPUV tractor over there as well. So let's get into it. I don't think the MPUV tractor is even for sale yet in the game. It's just out in the store, and so I had pledged those mostly for LTI tokens, but these two are the same price. I think we'll come to find that the functionality is not the same, which is really unfortunate. And probably we're working on the two at the same time, so I don't understand why their functionality is not the same. All right, so again, I'm kind of getting into opinions there, which is not the goal. So we'll start with the small tractor beam. I will get it in the right. So if you hit B, you can change the firing mode, and that's why it was wanting me to hold the button instead of clicking it. Anyways, moving the small box here, the one SCU box is pretty easy. I mean, I can't turn too abruptly, but it is movable. And then even from here, okay, so I could barely, so I put these boxes relatively close. Honestly, from I'm at the center line of the medical bay, and even from here, I can't. I don't think, yeah, I can't even get the box from the center line. I actually was being too nice. I'm at the edge of the medical area here, and I can get the one SU box into here. So I think from a perspective of a new player, that MaxLift is super expensive in game. I think it's close to 20K, which is all the money that a player has when it comes to a brand new player. All right, so if you're, God, we're not that far. I mean, it's straight literally in kilometers here, so... it's in meters, sorry. About 20 meters. So you can go about 20 meters with this small gun. So we're going to find with this forward box, you can pick it up. Again, the rotation of it is not terrible. The movement doesn't seem too bad. The other challenge we have with this is the RSI effect, which is RSI is not Robert Space Industries in this game. It's repetitive stress injury. So I know it sounds sad, but at the end of the day here, I think using this mouse wheel over and over again, I've been doing this now for, a year, because I've been playing the game for about a year. It's pretty wearing, right? That's not good for you to be using the mouse wheel that much. And I've been doing nothing but that, essentially. Now, I don't have a 12 SU box. Technically, what I found with the small gun, obviously... What? Did they change it? I guess they made a change, so I can actually pick up the 16 SU box. I was going to make a complaint that you can't even pick up a 12 SU box, but it looks like they fixed that. So as far as the small gun's concerned, I mean, it's not bad. It's not terrible. It's super punishing, again, for especially new players that are into the game. Either need to bring down the MaxLift price pretty significantly so people can just use that instead, but I feel like it's fairly punishing. Now, again, if I go even to the middle part of the med bay here, just as a point of reference, right, from here to loading dock, I can't. Okay, it'll let me grab the box here. Let me go to the end of the med bay, again, as just a point of reference. Because you can see the med bay, how far it is from the... Alright, it won't let me pull it in here. So, it says mass exceed, which is interesting. Okay, it did let me, when I moved forward a little bit there, it let me grab it. Let me put it back to the front. Anyway, so messing with this mouse quite a bit is... I think it's, as far as the mouse wheel is concerned, I actually end up using my middle finger with the mouse wheel these days because it's just to kind of mix it up. That's how kind of repetitive stress works, is you want to mix up where, the different fingers and whatnot so that you're kind of spreading out the use of that. So you're not really using repetitive stress here. Anyways, okay, so here we are with the MaxLift. It can go pretty significantly further. So I'm going to go ahead and try to pull the box out. I think I could probably go half this hanger at least. Let's see. And I didn't pre-test this, we're doing it live. So here I'm at some kind of marked line here. I can still grab it, but it's towards the end here. So I'm in the extra large hanger, obviously I do have a reclaimer. So halfway through your hanger on an extra large hanger, okay, you can't get it halfway, but you can get it. I mean, this is far, right? We're talking, this is pretty good here. And I'm at the max of it, so it's giving me a bit of a challenge. Anyways, let's move it in. I meant to test all these boxes. I don't think I want to kill that much time for you guys, and I want to record another video. I want to take a look at, there's a salvaging survey. There's actually a bunch of surveys, so now is the time to give the feedback to CIG. Okay, so let's take a look here. If I move this back and forth, it's not terrible. Let me do the one SU box again, so that I can get a good feel, because that's how we really were testing the other one. I did the 1 and the 4. But let me put this 16 back as well. This is 16, fairly hefty. Like both of these feel pretty similar. This is probably a bit faster than the regular, the smaller tractor beam, but in general they feel pretty similar. I feel like it's a nitpick to say that one moves significantly better than the other. And so if I've got this out a bit and I move back and forth, all right, probably not a nitpick nah, I mean, it feels a little nitpicky. Like, it's hard to determine how much of a percent better it is. I mean, obviously, it's probably literally in the notes on what percentage it is, and I'll try to take a look at that at the end. But all in all, between these two, they're pretty similar. I'm at least happy to see that they changed it so that the 16 XU box and stuff like that can be picked up by the small tractor beam. Especially since the Reclaimer can't even print. It can print these new 4x boxes and stuff like that, so they've made that update. But I don't think it can print the MaxLift, and I'll probably check that again before saying that with any particular certainty. Next, we're not going to take a look at the ATLS. I mean, a lot of people are focusing on that, the Atlas. I know I like to call it the Atlas, but I'm going to go down here to the MPUV tractor, because this came out first. It came out this year, so it's new. But I suspect it's going to be not as good when it comes to comparing these two. Again, same price, which it's kind of wild. Both of these two, I think, probably could come down in price. All right, here we are in the tractor. Now, this is going to work similarly to a turret that's dedicated, like the Taurus or the C1, a dedicated turret. Now, the biggest challenge with turrets right now is they're kind of just funky. Like, they're just scuffed, right? Like, it's not working the way it should. So again, you still have to use the mouse wheel. So I'm holding Alt here and the mouse wheel to get this to move, because that's controls for vehicle tractor. And it moves fine as far as like speed wise, but as far as actually functionally using it, when we compare it to the ATLS, I think this isn't going to go as well. But speed is pretty good. Again, the controllability is pretty terrible. I probably should be holding another key. I don't get in turrets all that often, so I mean, I don't use this even very often. I'll honestly find the ATLS probably be, and which is why I picked it up. I mean, it's easier to trade this in and get the ATLS, because I think we'll find that it's not as good. Additionally, you can see it's not even really necessarily snapping to the grid, but I'm having a heck of a time even controlling it. There we go. That's the only box that was get to snap to the grid pretty easily there, and I just already messed it up. Like, there we go. Okay, so that one's on the grid. It's not terrible after kind of spending a bit of a second on it, but if you told me, hey, get these 16 XU boxes, if I had multiples and try to get them stacked together, I think that'd be asking a lot. All right, so I've got the another 4 SU box back here. Let's see if I can get it on top of the other 4 SU box in any meaningful way. Like, it's hard to see. I can't. It's just my natural feedback. I'm not, like, again, trying to complain about it. I'm just trying to indicate, like, this is asking for a miracle to get me to stack those two together. Like, it just is. Like, maybe I'm retarded, right? Maybe that's what's going on here, and that could be it. All right, so that's the tractor. Let's head down and let's get into the new ATLS and see how it does comparatively. All right, so here we are back at the starting point, and I've got the 4 SU box there. I'm actually going to use this to test if it'll be easier for me to go ahead and stack 2 4 boxes together. So we'll grab the 1 SU box. As far as moving it, it's like day and night difference. Like, it's pretty easy. Obviously, the box just kind of stays with you, which I really appreciate. Honestly, for me, I think there's no reason that the regular tractor beam doesn't necessarily work this way. I mean, from a repetitive stress injury and quality of life, it should work that way. Just every tractor beam, because you're trying to pull it towards something anyways. Maybe use the alternate fire button if you want. So the other active ability for a tractor beam is to use it to pull yourself to a ship. I've never actually, like a grappler, I've never actually used it that way. Let's try the 2 SU. And again, so right now we're I can still turn pretty quickly, though, is the crazy part. And I'm in a big suit, which should actually be kind of hampered by turning. But it's just the quality of life there is so much better. Now, the tractor beam, again, you could use it as like a grapple hook. And that makes it a pretty useful feature, like when you're in space. But I don't use that often. So I think there should be an alternate fire to use that mode. Otherwise, the standard mode, I think, should work like this, which you should pull the box towards you. Maybe it pulls it slower if it's the small tractor beam. You're like doing the 16 SU box, like when I do this, when I grab this box. That's pulling it in pretty quickly. Maybe I should hold it or pull it in slower. Oh, yeah. So that's the other thing I have challenge with ATLS. Like, it'll be like, hey, yeah, let's put it here, but then it won't actually smoothly put it down. It'll want to move through things. I noticed that yesterday. I did take it out in my... I did some bounty hunting, and I took it out to do that. And it was a challenge. So here we are. I grabbed the 4SU box. When I was trying to loot the bounty hunting ships there, like the other boxes were interfering with each other. So here we are. Boom. I mean, instantly you can stack it up. So again, this is a day and night difference, much better than the other tractor, which is good why I turned that one in for this one. Again, I picked up a couple of those for LTI tokens, because $35 for an LTI token, I don't know. I don't necessarily believe in the full LTI thing, but at this point I can't really say that because I've been doing it. Because I've been CCUing ships, so might as well start from the base of an LTI token. That's how I've been kind of doing it, because generally speaking, no harm, no foul, and if you're doing it with the war bond, sometimes you're starting from a cheaper base, at least from the base ship. Anyways, I don't want to get in that too deep, but that's why I've been buying those as tokens. And this makes up another good LTI token. Again, I think the price should be $20. I think it would sell like hotcakes. They're missing out on sales by not lowering this price. And I wouldn't even care if I lost the money. Obviously, I mean, most people would care, so give people a $15 in store credit and then make it cost $20. Honestly, make it cost $10. And I like the idea somebody had put one of these in every hangar. Make it so it's contract and you can't steal it. But put one of these in every hangar, because it could go right over here in the corner and it would be perfect, because it needs, honestly, it's a necessity. And there's no reason, right, especially in cargo. And then after cargo patch, maybe at the 324.2, all that stuff, maybe at 4.0 or whatever, then take them out and let people decide to purchase one. But I think for now, just let people see it, let people try it, realize that it's a must-have. Again, I think you should be able to purchase it in-game instantly. It's one of those things that would just be nice to have in-game, and I think the people that should buy it would be people that that really want it, want to support the game, they want to support that decision, and they want an LTI token. Let's just do that. Take the regular ship out. I don't know. They're not going to do that, but anyways, those are my final thoughts. I just want to take a look at these different tractors, tractor beam options, and I'm going to hop out here because I'm going to show you that I can use the regular tractor beam to pick up not only this, the MaxLift here, but I can also, actually, let's check if the small one can do it. I bet you the small one can even do it. Yep, even the small gun can pick up this one. The other thing, it was probably off before, so I'm going to do two things. I'm going to turn it off, turn the engines on, all that jazz. I think the engines were on, so maybe that could be why it wouldn't grab it. Yeah, okay, yeah. So you see, you can definitely pick it up. I can move it, not a problem. Oh boy. It is a little funky. Like, it doesn't want to be, it's not ready to be touched, right? Like, it's... Alright, let's try the little one again. Wow, even this one can pick it up. Alright, so surely... Don't call me Shirley. Surely this can pick it up as well. And if it can, then it just means you can go out with the small tractor beam and this and just be right as rain. Like it. Let's check it out. Moment of truth. You can. That's crazy. It doesn't... So it moves it kind of like a... We'll come back. The only problem with it is you can't... Come back this way. Okay, I can move it in. I can't... Can I turn it? Yeah, don't open that up. I don't want you. Alright. Alright, so it's a little wonky, right? Like... Don't open. Don't... No one else be coming in here. What are you doing? This is my safe space. Alright, so it doesn't really work. So I'd have to get out and use the small tractor beam. So if I just had the ATLS and I had my small tractor beam, I'd be able to get out and manage it better. So we can pick it up, technically, but it doesn't work correctly. There's Seraphim up there. So yeah, that's pretty much it. That's all I wanted to show, the comparison between the different beams. Unfortunately right now, luckily it's not really a requirement anymore to have the max tractor, but as far as the quality of life, you're going to want a different tractor beam, at least the max tractor. These other two tractor beams, again, this MPUV, just to be clear, the MPUV here, it was obviously it's its own ship, but it works just like any of the vehicle's dedicated tractor beams, and that's wonky. Like, as far as the movement, the fine movement of it, because of the way, I don't know if it's just because of turrets right now, or just the way they have it set up right now, but it's kind of a disaster. I think the way they make this better is, again, put the ability to put 1 SU boxes, increments, like the Argo Raft, maybe even be able to fit a 32 in here. 32 would be sick. But I know it's meant, I think, for 16, if I'm not mistaken, historically, because the 16 fits, I think, till back here, on here. I could just set it up. I'm not going to do that. I don't want to waste your time. So at the end of the day here, I think this should have increments for 1 SU boxes fitting up or fitting 16 SUs. And it should just have a snap grid under here. And it should automatically, when you grab it with the tractor beam, it should pull it to that grid. And then you should be able to just put that box down, much like it should work very similarly to the Atlas. Otherwise, right now, people are getting ripped off if they have bought this, they got ripped off. Because when it comes to this, compared to this, the Atlas is just day and night better. I did pick this up to kind of go along with the Ironclad, thinking I would have it in the Ironclad. But there would not be, obviously I can get out of it, the Ironclad, I'll just have the bay open. But honestly, it would just be better to have 2 of these. I would have 1 for unloading, and that'll have a tractor beam anyways. It'll be 1 for unloading, and then have actually the Atlas would be outside in the hangar here, and I would then process the cargo containers from there. So inside I would use the tractor beams, and then outside I would use the Atlas. And I was kind of thinking I would need this, that I could maybe do both, and that could be the benefit here, because you could unload it and load it without having to have 2 different sets. But I don't know, the Atlas just works so much better. They need to bring this up to the Atlas standard, and then the other 2 beams, just get rid of the nerfs on them. Just put them back the way they were. Honestly, it just looks like a terrible cash grab to introduce, again, a fix for the problem they created themselves. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Thanks y'all for checking out the video. Thanks for those that have taken time to like and subscribe, and I'll catch y'all next time. Peace. I lied. We got another video here. I've got all these vehicles I want to put away. Please let me put these away. First of all, the Atlas shows up as it's just not here. It doesn't see it, although it sees this literally on the pad. Go down to my reclaimer. Also has no idea where it is, even though it's still on the pad. I go down to Argo, because the one that does show up is the tractor. Please store this. That would be great. Moving to storage. Are you, though? You're not. So, I don't know what's... Hopefully they can continue to get these things worked out. Anyways, catch y'all next time.